Hey, it's Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for telling my wife I don't care about her dream job because it messes with our family routine? Ooh. So throwaway because my wife is on Reddit and I don't need this blown up on my face. Ironic, I know. My 36 male, wife 34 female, recently got offered her dream job, her words. It's a position at a nonprofit she's been volunteering with for years and she's over the moon about it. Thing is, the hours are terrible. 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Tuesday to Saturday. The pay is way less than her current job, and it's 45 minutes away with no option for remote work. We have 2 kids, 5 and 2. I work full-time from home in a high-stress tech job that pays the majority of the bills. Up until now, she's done school drop-offs, pickups, grocery shopping, dinners, etc. She's always been the primary parent, her term. I help out when I can, but I won't pretend I do 50-50. When she told me she was accepting the offer, I told her flat out that I did not support the decision. I said I didn't care about her dream job if it meant that our house would fall into chaos. I said that stability matters more than personal fulfillment when you have a family. Stability matters more than personal fulfillment when you have a family. I don't disagree with the statement. She got really quiet and just said, wow. And since then, she's been cold and distant. She hasn't told the nonprofit yes or no yet, and I can tell that she's torn. She says I crushed her and made her feel invisible. For context, she's never been a career-focused person. We agreed sort of early on that she'd work part-time or flexibly to prioritize the kids while I focused on career and providing. Now suddenly she wants to flip the script and for a job that pays less? I don't think I'm wrong for saying this isn't workable for us. But her sister called me a controlling asshole and said I should be ashamed for bulldozing her autonomy. So, am I the astronaut for telling my wife I don't care about her dream job because it disrupts our family routine? I feel like we're going to have some blended opinions here. I'm going back to red flag mode here because this is an issue that I can actually see both sides of. Now, as a parent, kids are what, 5 and 2. Look, she's done her nickel at this point in the whole like being the primary parent, and she's feeling like she's losing herself, which I understand. However, making these kind of moves are the kind of things that you discuss with your partner. And you're a team, whether you like it or not, because you have kids together, young kids together. So this isn't the kind of thing that you can just jump into and alert your partner that you're accepting the job whenever it changes a lot of things for them or puts a lot of things on them. I don't feel like you can just do that. Now, on her side, I feel like the way that OP just squashed this was insensitive, right? Now, where's the happy medium here? I don't know, but it feels like it is an ESH. And it feels like that because hubby should have been able to say, like, this is something we really need to think about because it's not just accepting this job. This changes our whole world. This changes our kids' worlds. This is going to create some inevitable harm and discomfort for them. Like, we need to talk about this and figure out what that would look like and see if there's a way where we can minimize the pain it causes to the entire family for you to do this. I want you to be happy. I want you to be fulfilled. I want you to feel independent and that you have your autonomy. But I think we owe it to our family to figure out a plan that doesn't cause everyone else pain to make that happen. Can we do that before you accept this, please? Instead of just saying, I don't give a rat's ass about your dream job if it harms the family. I feel like he should have done that differently. I feel like she should have done it differently as well. Not coming to if I came to you and Candy Thunder, if I came to you and I was just like, hey, I'm accepting this job. Our whole world would change if I came to you and said I was taking a job that would change our whole world and put a lot more work on you as far as home goes.
You would never do that.
I would never do that. But
because we are in a partnership. We're not two people existing. Like, we are running a home together. We're partners together. He sucks way worse, in my opinion. Like, for just pissing on her dream. The way that he did it, and the fact that he says I work, I don't pull my weight, she does it all, and so that means that her doing this is going to cause direct harm to him.
Yeah.
And so he sucks because he's not even trying to find a compromise. If I came to you and said, this is my dream job, I want this, how can we make this work? You would be open to discussion, even though it would make your life harder. But the fact that he just shut her down immediately and shit on her dreams without talking about some sort of compromise. Can she go back to the NFP and say, hey, can I work 4 days a week at 2 to 10 but also have this day because, I mean, you're right. Her kids, they're very young. Like she's going to miss bedtime 5 days. I mean, 5 days out of the week.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That would be a lot for me. I'm speaking from my personal opinion, but I feel like her saying I'm accepting this without that conversation makes her a little bit of an asshole. She does have that right as a human being.
Sure.
Like she has that absolute right to do that. But without you have the right, that doesn't mean you're not a little bit of an asshole. She probably could have done that differently, but he 100% acted like a raging asshole to me.
Okay. And I personally, I feel like the way that she approached this was just as bad as what he did. And that's just my viewpoint on it because she made a decision for herself that would affect the entire family without talking about it first, without trying to find a compromise. And yes, they both should have compromised or found a compromise here, but they were both like all or nothing, black and white.
That's why they're both only looking at, he's only looking at how this is going to affect his life and his life is going to get harder.
Right.
And she's looking at, this is my dream job.
She's looking at how it's going to enhance her life.
If they had communicated like they were in a partnership, they would have found a compromise.
Agreed.
And instead, they both just ended up being an asshole because they didn't communicate like they were in a partnership. I get wanting your dream job. I get chasing those dreams. But you can't do that if you're raising a family. Just 100% make a decision by yourself, because the decisions that you make when you're in a partnership and you chose to bring children into this world, every decision that we make together affects our kids.
Yeah.
Every decision that I make on my own affects our children. And so I have to take that into consideration when I make decisions for my life because I chose to bring children into this world. And I feel like she has to make, it should have come, like, they should have found a way to compromise and they didn't. I still think she, in my opinion, is like the least bit of asshole, and he's an ASCON one because of the way that he approached it, the way that he presented himself in the story was, I don't pull my weight. Now she wants me to pull more weight and I don't want to do it. And so my answer is no. That to me is just like, that's childish behavior. Yeah. That's childish communication.
So we're definitely at an ESH to different degrees, kind of about who's where. I think he definitely shouldn't have done what he did. And he came off as an ASCON one with his delivery, for sure. I do agree he's a bigger asshole. They did the same thing, but it was his delivery of essentially attempting to, with his words, knock her down a peg.
Yes.
And she didn't think about the ramifications of her choice or have a plan for that coming into this at all, or even discuss it with him. She was just like, this is my dream. I want to do this. I'm going to say yes. And he's like, the fuck you are. So yeah, this has got to be a communication thing, guys. And look, you got 2 young kids. So maybe this is the first thing like this that they've really had to talk through and discuss and figure out like a game plan for. Maybe they just don't know how to do that, but she's done her nickel. I'm all for, parents regaining their self-identity and beginning to live their dreams. It's something that you end up having to do like a piece at a time, one step at a time. You gotta tiptoe into it and gradually work your way there. It's not something you can just fully dive into sometimes. He should be willing to help her step toward that. But there's got to be some kind of process that minimizes the harm on the family. Not him. He's got to be willing to step up and do more.